Hey guys, this is lesson 5.3, proportions. So title your paper Proportions. Now, proportions are very similar to the ratios and the rates that we've been doing in this chapter. So write down proportion in your notes. And then write it's an equation. Equation has an equal sign using or stating that two ratios or fractions are equal. So it's like 1/2 equals 2/4. That's a proportion. So we're going to be doing tons of this. So I hope you don't get sick of it. To determine if two fractions make a ratio, you can cross multiply. That means to multiply the numbers that are diagonal from each other. If the products are equal or the answers are equal, then it is a proportion. So I would do this. 1 times 4 equals 4, and 2 times 2 is 4. If these two numbers are equal, then yes, it is a proportion, or yes, they equal each other. Okay? So here's a couple examples. Do the ratios in each pair form a proportion? So take out your calculator, try these two problems, and let me know if they do or not. Push pause, and then we will go over. Okay, first one. I am going to do 5 times 54 and 9 times 30. So if you look at that, I've already done it. 5 times 54, 9 times 30 is 270, and then this one, 9 times 30, is also 270. So yes, they form a proportion. Here, I'm going to do 7 times 65 and then 8 times 55. So when I did that, I got 455 and then I got 440. So they did not form a proportion. So they were a no. So pretty simple. It's just multiplication. You can do this. You can use a calculator. It's not that big of a deal. So now, do the ratios in each pair form a proportion? So try these, a little bit more practice, and then we will go over. Okay, so I'm going to do 35 times 63, 35 times 63. So 35 times 63, that equals 2,205. And then I'm going to do 56 times 45, and that equals 2520. So no, they do not form a proportion. Here, I'm going to do 9 times 26. So I'm going to do 9 times 26 on my calculator, and that equals 234. And then I'm going to do 13 times 18 on my calculator, 13 times 18, and that equals 234. So yes, these do form a proportion. All right, so now they're going to put it in real terms. So I bought 2 liters of pop for all my classes. Second hour drank 5 and had 30 kids in class. How many total do I need for 150 kids? So now what they want you to do is set up a proportion, and then you have to find one of the numbers. So how you do this is you start with what they gave you first. Fifth hour drank 5, so they drank 5 2 liters. So 5 2 liters, and had 30 kids. So I put them together in a ratio. So 5 2 liters and 30 kids. So now you want to say that equals, and then I look at what they gave me. They gave me 150 kids. Now I put that number on the bottom with the other kids. I have to match up. So this kids is on the bottom. I'm going to put this kids on the bottom. And I don't know how many 2 liters to buy. So when I go to Meijer, I need to know how many 2 liters to put in my cart. So now what I do is I'm going to just cross multiply just like I did. So I'm going to do 5 times 150. So take out your calculator. Grab mine here. And I'm going to do 5 times 150. Whoops. And that equals 750. And I need that to be equal to 30 times x. 30 times x. So now look at this right here. Look at this equation. This is what we just did in chapter 4. If you remember, we did one-step equations where you had to solve this problem. So now, if you remember, what you do is you draw a line, and then I look at my x, here's my x, and I say, okay, that's 30 times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 30. So then I'm going to divide by 30 on my calculator, and I should buy 25 2 liters. Now, if you want to check it, here's how you check it. Rewrite your proportion. 5 over 30, does that equal 25 over 150? So you check it just like I just showed you at the beginning of this video. You cross multiply, and that equals 750. And I cross multiply 25 times 30, and that equals 750. So I know for a fact that my answer is correct. So try this one. An astronaut who weighs 174 pounds on Earth weighs 29 pounds on the moon. If you weigh 102 pounds on Earth, would you weigh 17 pounds on the moon? So set them up as fractions and put them equal to each other, and then try this problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, 174 pounds on Earth is 29 on the moon. Those two went together. Those two went together. So if I was 102 pounds on Earth, could I weigh 17? So then you take out your calculator, and I'm going to do 174 times 17. That didn't work. 174 times 17. And that equals 2958. And then I'm going to do 29 times 102. 29 times 102. And that equals 2958. So yes, they would work because when I cross multiplied, they both equaled the same amount. All right, that is it for your notes.